Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's weekly wellness workshop. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Dr. Hailey, and my husband, Dr. Ryan Hyde, and I are the owners and chiropractors at Glacier Family Chiropractic and Wellness in downtown Columbia Falls. We are on a mission to empower our community members to thrive through health and wellness education. And we are also here because we want to provoke you to not just learn something new, but to also take action to create change in your own life. Now, today's topic is on theme with the holiday this week, and our topic is transforming your life with gratitude. Now, this is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. As I shared a couple of weeks ago with the nervous system regulation workshop, I have struggled with anxiety for a lot of my life, and I know I'm not alone on that. And what anxiety does is it takes your perspective on life and it shifts it into a fear-based, stressed out kind of tunnel vision. So when you deal with anxiety, it can be really, really easy to feed into the negative thoughts and really let those negative thoughts run course on your life. I actually found a pretty astounding statistic on this. According to the National Science Foundation, the average person has about 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. And of all those thoughts, about 75 to 80% of those thoughts are negative, and 95% of those thoughts are repetitive. So what this means is the more negative thoughts you have, the more you are repeating them, and also that about 3/4 of our thoughts tend to be negative. So I don't know about you, but personally, I am not okay with that. I have too many goals in life, including just being happy, to where I can't afford to be beaten down by that negativity. And I would argue that probably most of us here desire to be happy. But I want to provoke the question of, what are we actually doing to ensure our happiness? Just like we need to be proactive when it comes to our physical health and well-being, we need to be proactive when it comes to our mental and emotional well-being. And in order to experience more positive thoughts and to feel happier on a day-to-day basis, we must be practicing gratitude. So, what is gratitude? Looked up a couple of different definitions. So the Google definition of gratitude is the quality of being thankful and the readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. And another definition I found on kidshealth.org states that gratitude is when you feel thankful for the good things in life. It could be stuff people often take for granted, like having a place to live, food, clean water, friends, family. It can also be really big things too. And gratitude is taking a moment to reflect on how lucky you are when something good happens, whether it's small or big. So what I love about both of those definitions is it not only discusses the importance of being grateful for both the big and the small things, but it also emphasizes the point of showing appreciation and returning the kindness that we experience. So diving into it. We're going to talk a little bit more about why gratitude is important. What kind of impact does it make on our overall well-being? So, as I mentioned before, gratitude is 100% essential to experience more happy and positive thoughts. But practicing gratitude has a slew of other health benefits, not just for our mental and emotional state, but actually for our physical well-being as well. An article from Mayo Clinic states that expressing gratitude is associated with a host of mental and physical benefits. Studies have shown that feeling thankful can improve your sleep quality, it can improve your mood, it can also improve your immunity. And gratitude also decreases depression, anxieties, difficulties with chronic pain, and gratitude actually reduces the risk of developing disease as well. What I loved about this article was that it stated if a pill could do all these things, if there was a pill that can improve your sleep, improve your mood, improve your immunity, decrease your depression, your anxiety, your chronic pain, your risk of developing chronic disease, then everybody would be taking that pill. It also states that your brain is designed to problem solve rather than to appreciate. So you really have to work diligently to override this protective mechanism and reap the benefits of gratitude. Now, in the same article, they also state that your behavior changes biology. This is something we talk about in chiropractic all the time. Our lifestyle, the things we do, the way we think truly impacts our overall well-being. But behavior changes biology. Positive gestures, expressing gratitudes towards others, benefits you by releasing oxytocin. And we know oxytocin is often referred to as the love hormone. It's the hormone we experience when we hug somebody that we love or when we snuggle up to our partner. It's the hormone moms experience when they birth their baby and they hold their baby for the first time. It's a really powerful hormone. So when we practice gratitude and we share that with others, not only do we benefit from that, but the people that are on the other end of that benefit from that as well. Another article, this one was titled The Science Behind Gratitude. So it states the benefits of practicing gratitude are nearly endless. People who regularly practice gratitude by taking time to notice and reflect upon the things they're thankful for experience more positive emotions. They feel more alive, they sleep better, they express more compassion and kindness towards themselves and others, and they even have stronger immune systems. And gratitude also increases your mental strength and resilience. So I pulled one last article I'm going to refer to here before we actually talk about the action steps and how you can implement this in your life. It states that gratitude increases mental strength. For years, research has shown gratitude not only reduces stress, but it also can play a major role in overcoming trauma. A 2006 study published in Behavior Research and Therapy found that Vietnam War veterans with higher levels of gratitude experienced lower rates of post-traumatic stress disorder. Another study published a couple of years before in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that gratitude was a major contributor to resilience following the terrorist attacks of 9/11. And they state that recognizing all that you have to be thankful for, even during the worst of times, fosters mental and emotional resilience. So there are a slew of physical benefits from improving your sleep, your immune system, your overall pain levels, promoting more of that feel-good hormone, but there are also a lot of mental and emotional benefits, even going as far as helping us cope with and deal with traumas and stressors, which a lot of us have struggled with. And I would feel comfortable betting my life savings that pretty much every person I've come in contact with in my life would love to experience all of those benefits. So how do we do it? That's what we're going to talk about next. Let's just discuss the action steps to practice gratitude in your daily life, because just like any other health supporting procedure or wellness routine, we are really dependent on time, repetition, and consistency to see these changes. So the things we're going to discuss are things you want to implement on a regular basis. So the first one I'm going to discuss today to experience more gratitude and positivity in your life is a prayer of gratitude. Now, whether you are religious or you're spiritual or somewhere in between, you can benefit from this. This is something I practice on almost a daily basis. I do it when I'm in the car by myself driving to work or the grocery store, if I'm taking the dog outside, sometimes when I'm in the shower. I just look like a crazy person and talk to myself out loud. But what I do when I'm having that prayer moment is I reflect on the things that I am most grateful for that day. A lot of those things can be repetitive, but sometimes they change on a day-to-day basis. I notice the things that I often reflect my gratitude for is my health, the health and well-being of the people I love most in life, my husband, my dog, our practice, our patients, our community. I'm grateful to live in such a beautiful place. I'm grateful to have a full pantry and freezer and refrigerator, bills that are paid, a roof over my head, the simple things. And I was discussing this with a patient earlier. It can be really easy to forget how much we truly have to be grateful for when we are so focused on what our next goal is or what it is that we're lacking. Remember, over 3/4 of your thoughts tend to be negative, so you have to remind yourself of all the positive things you have in your life and of all the blessings you have in your life. Now, if praying isn't your thing, or even if it is your thing, another really fantastic tool to practice gratitude on a more routine basis is journaling. Now, what I love about praying is I don't need to sit down to do it. I can do it while I'm multitasking. I can do it while I'm driving. Journaling requires you to sit down, which can be really excellent tool as well. This can kind of be like a form of meditation. So when you sit down to journal with this topic of gratitude, you can simply just list the things you're grateful for, kind of like how I talked about it when I have that gratitude prayer. But if that's not your thing or you want some ideas, I did find an article that had about 20 different gratitude journaling prompts, and I'm gonna share about, I think I got like 10 or so with you. And if you want more of these prompts, please let me know. We have the link saved. We would love to share it with you. But some journaling prompts for gratitude. First one is, what is one thing or multiple things that you often take for granted? Another one is, who do I need to thank? What are 3 things I'm grateful for, no matter how small? What do I appreciate about myself? What made me smile today? What is a happy memory from my childhood? Who are 3 people in my life that I'm grateful for? What are 3 reasons that I am glad to be alive for? And what brings me joy? So you can sit down, whether you have a dedicated journal or a notepad, or if you want to type it up in your phone, but taking a few minutes to journal the things you are grateful for and what's on your heart can really help you begin to recognize more of the blessings you have in life. Now, those first 2 might seem a little bit obvious, and this next one I'm going to discuss might actually seem a little bit counterintuitive. But if you are wanting to experience gratitude more consistently in your life, it can actually be beneficial to occasionally reflect on the bad times in life. It reminds you how far you've come. It reminds you of what you have had to overcome to get to where you are. And I know for me, it can also really serve as a reminder of all the things I have in my life and all the things I'm doing that I one day was wishing for and praying for and was hoping was going to happen. When you are somebody who is productive and you like to do things and you're an achiever, it can be really easy to always be set on what the next best thing is going to be. But sometimes we really need to just take time, slow down, and reflect on how far we've come and how good we actually have it. This next one here, we got 2 more action steps we're going to talk about for expressing gratitude. Thank you for those who are joining. I see my grandma's on here. Hi, Grandma. And I see Tara. Hello. Next tool we're going to discuss in terms of experiencing gratitude on a more day-to-day basis is watching your language and the words that you use. This has been a really big eye-opener for me for the last 10 years or so, but especially since graduating chiropractic school, opening up our business, dealing with all of the changes that have happened in the world and in the country since 2020. I notice sometimes, myself and my husband included, we can get stuck in those negative cycles of using a lot of negative verbiage and phrases. So you really need to be mindful of the language that you use because your words are powerful. The words we use truly do matter. The more negative words you use, the more negative thoughts you're going to have. The more positive words you use, the more positive thoughts you're going to have. Now, I do want to take a moment to just recognize there is such thing as toxic positivity. Sometimes you need to have a little moment, a little breakdown. And hi, Judy, I see you on here too. Hi, Sam. Sometimes you need to take a moment to just kind of wallow and be frustrated. But more often than not, you got to pick yourself up by the bootstraps and you got to take control of the situation. So when we use negative words in particular, it activates a part of our brain called the amygdala, and this is our brain's fear center. When we're using that negative language and those negative phrases, it can trigger the release of stress hormones like cortisol. And we know that elevated cortisol levels, especially chronically in the long term, are at the root of so many physical and mental ailments. We're talking about things like anxiety, depression, high blood pressure, weakened immune system, all sorts of things. We don't want to deal with that. So first step is just recognizing when you are utilizing those negative words, maybe when you're talking badly about yourself, and replacing it with more positive language. To piggyback off of that, a great exercise, because I know personally I'm someone where I'm really tough on myself. I expect a lot of myself. And something that stood out to me is years ago, someone had asked me, if you had a friend that talked to you the way you talk to yourself, would you be friends with them? So it made me pause. I had to think about it, and I realized probably not. And I would say that's probably the same case for a lot of you. So we want to be our own friends. So instead of saying things like I can't, I won't, or feeling like or telling ourselves that things don't work out for us, we're not good enough, somebody is better at doing what we do, or whatever it is, whatever those negative thoughts are, you need to recognize that. You need to apply the brakes, and you need to start to replace those negative phrases and words. So integrating more phrases like I can, I will, abundance, blessings, just simply recognizing when we're not talking nicely to ourselves and replacing it with a more positive perspective towards things. And if you need more ideas for that, let me know and we'll work on it. Last tip we're going to talk about is simple meditation. So meditation can be really beneficial in helping you get out of that tunnel vision of stress and anxiety and negativity, and it allows you to step into a more present, a more empowered, and a more positive state. Now, you can do obvious meditating like guided meditation. There is a free app called Headspace, and that one is personally my favorite. They have options to do, I think, like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. You can go for a short meditation, you can go for a longer one. But the Headspace app is an excellent tool for this. There's actually a lot of really great guided meditations on YouTube. You can look up meditations for gratitude. You can look up meditations for stress or anxiety. There's all sorts of options. And for most of us, we already have Wi-Fi, we have a phone or a computer or whatever. So that's essentially a free resource we have available to us. Another free resource could be YouTube Yoga. Yoga movement in general is really great for essentially meditating without realizing that's what you're doing. It gets you connected with your body. It gets you connected with the present moment. I know personally, one of my favorite YouTube yoga people is Yoga with Adriene. You can also, just like with the meditations, you can look up on YouTube yoga for gratitude, yoga for positive thoughts, and you'll get all sorts of things. Now, as awesome as it can be to have these free digital resources, sometimes it's just really beneficial to be in person. So I know most yoga classes tend to integrate some form of meditation or some form of gratitude practice or prayer. And we actually have some really great yoga studios within the Valley. Here in Columbia Falls, just a couple blocks away from our office, there is a building called Mountain Time Wellness, and they have some really excellent yoga offerings there. And if you're local, we can definitely discuss some more local resources for this too. A couple of other things you may not necessarily consider to be meditation, but are actually really, really powerful in helping you be present in the moment and helping you experience more positivity is to spend time in nature. Time in nature is always a good thing, and time off of technology. I know I tell my patients all the time, I love hiking, I love kayaking, I love doing things outside because it's like meditation that's not forced. I'm present in the moment, I'm present with my surroundings, I'm focused on what I'm seeing, on what I'm smelling, and what I'm feeling, and that's ultimately what meditation is. Fortunately for most of us here, we live in Montana, so we live in a beautiful place to get out in nature. And no matter where you are, even if you just go for a walk downtown or whatever it is, spending time outside and off of your technology is a great way to meditate. Last one here in terms of simple meditation, and something that you may not consider meditation, is spending time being present with the people that matter most to you. So I'm guilty of this, where sometimes it's just really easy to scroll on your phone or watch TV or get lost in whatever you're doing, but it is proven that spending quality time with those that you love helps you experience more positivity and more gratitude in your life, and that's what we're here for. So just to summarize what our action steps were for experiencing more gratitude on a regular basis in our life, we talked about prayers of gratitude. We talked about journaling our gratitudes. We talked about every once in a while taking a pause, reflecting on how far we've come, and recognizing that we've come so far along the way. We discussed watching your language and the words you use, so really being conscientious of when you're using negative language and negative phrases and starting to reframe the way you think and utilize more positive language. And we also discussed a ton of different ways you can experience meditation and presence, which helps you experience more gratitude on a regular basis. So the reason we do these workshops, excuse me, I'm just getting over a little cold. So the reason we do these workshops is to help our patients and to help our community thrive in their physical and mental health and well-being. We do these workshops so that you have the opportunity to learn about your brain and about your body, and also to empower you with action steps to create change for the better in your life, because you can learn all these new and amazing things, but if you're not taking action to create change in your own life, you're just overwhelming yourself with more information. So with that being said, my ask of you today for this workshop is to pick one of these daily gratitude practices and practice it routinely for the next month. So whether you want to focus on the language you use, whether you want to start praying about your gratitude every single day, whether you want to start journaling about it, whether you want to start meditating, I urge you to pick one of these action steps and implement it in your daily routine. We know it takes about 30 days to create a habit. So if you can stick with this for the next month, it will naturally become a part of your routine and it'll feel so much more organic and a lot less forced. I know for me, that's why I do the prayer of gratitude, because it's easy for me. I can get it done. Again, I don't have to sit down. I can multitask when I do it. When I first started doing it, I had to remind myself to do it, and now it just naturally happens. So just like any other health and healing practice, time, repetition, and consistency are key. Give yourself grace when you need it, but also remind yourself of why you're doing this. Remind yourself of all of these benefits of practicing gratitude and experiencing more positivity in your life. It affects your mental well-being, it affects your physical well-being, and overall your sense of self. I want you to do this because you are worth it. You deserve to feel good. And you and your loved ones deserve to feel this love and happiness and support. What I would love from you guys, hi Cassie, hi Allison. What I would love from you guys is if you watch this video, whether you're watching it live with us or you're gonna watch the playback, I would love if you could tell us in the comments which gratitude practice you are planning to implement into your routine. And I'll share mine as well. And overall, I just hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving weekend. I really urge you to take time every single day again for the next month, but especially on Thanksgiving, take time to reflect on those things you're grateful for. Make sure you reach out to the people that you're grateful for and let them know how thankful you are for them. And also just take some time to rest and recoup and prepare for an abundant holiday season, because things can get a little crazy during this time of year. So join us next Tuesday at the same time, same place. Dr. Ryan will be talking about the three-legged stool of chiropractic. We are doing these workshops every single week. So if you have requests for topics, we are always planning our calendar out. So please let us know. We want to make sure these videos are serving you guys. We don't want to do these videos just to hear ourselves talk. We're really trying to make an impact. So feedback is always welcome, and we hope to see you guys next week. Thanks.